About the sound? Remember that?
Yeah.
All right, I think we got sound now. Don't we have sound, everybody? Let me know.
Do we have
in
sound?
the
Somebody
YouTube
let us
chat,
know.
please.
Hello.
Thank
Can you hear
you.
us?
Audio check. Thank you. Can we
Can you
get
hear
a
me now?
confirmation? Do we have sound now? Yes, sound is back. There it is.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Well, we just
Okay.
wanted to, some
Just checking if
people,
you're still there.
yeah, sometimes we have to check up on you all. So, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Bob, and yeah, despite that soundless introduction, we are full of sound here, ready to play. Some people said that episode 11 was never going to happen, but we're here to prove you all wrong. Obviously, we had to take a little break last week, but we're back. We're here. We're ready to play. And we were just chatting about, what were we chatting about? The name. Do we have a name for this crew at this point? And Andrew, you said you were thinking about it all the while on the train. Is that true?
Yeah, it is. It's good. It is true, but I'm not a great name one.
You're not a namer?
Yeah, but I think because we're destined for glory, we need a glorious name. Maybe
We do.
the Destinites.
Ooh, the Destinites.
That's pretty.
I
That's
kind of
pretty
like
catchy.
it. I kind of
The
like
Fantastic Four.
it.
What about Irina?
Plus child. Oh, plus Irina.
Plus, Yune.
Plus child.
How could you forget me?
The Fantastic Seven.
The fantastic number in flux.
Well, we'll have to think about it, but maybe the Destinites, maybe we'll talk more about some things that happen here in Vallaki, because there might be some defining moments in the next few episodes. I'm really excited to play, so we're naturally going to pause then and do a nice long icebreaker. So let's do that. All
My
right.
favorite.
I've
Love it.
got a great icebreaker today. Okay, here we go.
Ready. I'm pumped.
So, and this actually, I mean, this kind of ties into D&D ability. So this doesn't have to be for you necessarily, unless you really don't want to say, but would you rather be invisible or be able to read minds? Which would you rather do? This is like
I have a
classic
clarifying
icebreaker.
question. I have clarifying questions to that.
okay.
If I'm invisible, is my gear also invisible, or am I only invisible naked?
That would be not as
Excellent.
helpful, I think. So I think maybe what's generally on your person, like the invisibility spell.
Like D&D. Okay.
Yeah. hmm
And can I turn off mind reading ability, or am I like Edward in the Twilight series?
Wow,
Great
that was a
question.
really
Amazing
specific. Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, I'd imagine you have some sort of control over it, like you can choose not to. That might be really tempting sometimes, though. So yes, I would say all of the above. So what do you think?
Well, I can go.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Gotta read minds.
Okay, read minds. Interesting.
You don't
Why you say
need to
that?
be invisible to snoop on people if you can just read their mind.
I knew you were going to say that, Andrew. I almost read your mind about it, honestly. You know, you didn't like the invisibility one. You were like, does it even cover my clothes? So, like, yeah,
Right.
I knew you were going to go mind reading.
It gets cold.
Yeah, very much. What about Tim? You had your hand up.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately go for not reading minds. I work with kids, and so I don't want to know what they think 90% of the time, and I imagine that adults are no better. So I'm gonna go with invisibility. Sounding like the idea of like being able to ignore and like be just pretend I'm not there for a long time sounds so lovely. I'd get out of so many things I don't want to do. I'm a huge fan of the Irish exit. Going invisible would just make that so much easier.
Nice.
You could literally disappear.
That's it.
What about you, Michelle? I see you pondering.
Yeah, I'm pondering hard, man. It's tough.
If only I could
Um,
read minds, I could tell everybody.
If only. There's like so much utility to both, I guess, which is why this is the question being asked. But I guess, yeah, I guess I would probably want to read minds only given that I can turn it off whenever I want.
Well, that,
Mm.
yeah.
Because
That's
like
fair.
if I, yeah, like if I can read minds, then I can effectively talk myself into being invisible adjacent. Yeah, you can be socially invisible, make yourself boring to people in a strategic way. So I think that's what I would go for. Reading minds.
Reading minds. Interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting. Stefano?
I think I'm gonna go invisibility because I don't know. Reading minds, that seems like the dark chaotic path.
Chaotic? I don't know about chaotic. It depends how you act upon it, but I would agree it would definitely be hard to not want to do it all the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's too much power.
But
Too
of
much.
course,
Come from the dark
invisibility
side, Stefano.
invisibility is completely for good only. Like because
You're right,
Yeah.
Andrew.
I don't know. I don't know.
Invisibility is deceptive.
I think invisibility could be funny.
What about like this? What about like this? If I were to go like this, boom, I'm gone.
Yeah, and then you just pop up behind me and you're like,
Here I am again.
"What up?" And I'm like, "Ah!"
Horrifying.
That'd be fun. I'd do that all the time to people.
that is a persuasive use.
But I know this wasn't on the list, but telekinesis is my top power.
Oh,
That's a good one,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like Matilda.
Like
Yeah.
Matilda.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's go-to telekinesis
I was gonna
example.
say not my first choice, but neither was the Edward Cullen Twilight reference. So
just-
here we are.
I just want to be Matildo.
When I was a kid, I used to try and move things with my mind for like 10 minutes at a time after reading Matilda at a too young age.
Mm.
Sometimes I still do. Usually when I'm in traffic, I'll like stare at the car in front of me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just wait for the car to move. And when it
Right.
does, I get really excited. I'm like, I did it.
Yeah.
And it never works twice.
Right, yeah.
Or like
Here's
you're
what
on
I
the
was-
train for some reason, it stopped, and you're sitting there. You're all collectively willing the train forward.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
See,
Nobody
sometimes
cared
a
that it
fork is
disappeared,
just out of
by
my
the way.
reach, and I just want to be like,
Did anybody care that it
fork comes
disappeared? Nobody cared.
I was getting worried for a minute. I was like, did we actually lose Bob? I'm not gonna lie.
you were gone for quite some time, but then we just went with it.
See,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like I got to put it all on you. You guys don't know what it's like to have to host these things.
Actually, you know what?
So
Maybe I want to
lesson.
mind read because you went invisible and everyone just completely forgot about you, and that seems sad and lonely.
Probably what's going to happen when you're invisible.
Well, either way, both of them would be nice. And in fact, I bet you both of them would come in handy here in Valaki, in the town of Valaki, in the lands of Barovia, because there is some evil afoot. And right now, that evil is the shape of a giant tiger. So we're gonna dive into the actual game here. We're gonna do a little recap and then play. It's been 2 weeks, so just as a reminder, a couple of things. Please, everybody, check out the channel for. We had a bunch of things going on in the last 2 weeks. We had the Valentine's Day special, which was a hit. We played Shadow Dark with Kelsey Dione from the Arcane Library. We also have tons of other content going on. And coming up in the spring, we're going to have even more content. We've got Call of Cthulhu coming back to the channel. We've got, I believe, some point in this year, I'm not sure when, but the return of the Keep on the Borderlands crew, the Char Coalition. So there's stuff going on here. So make sure you're a part of it. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss another upload. But we're going to be jumping into the game now. So you're all set?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Grayscale we go. Here it is. Boom. All right, so we are in the lands of Barovia, and the last time we played, oh my goodness, was it an epic episode? We had the stockyard. That's where we met a few of your neighbors. You had a house. You you renovated the place a little bit. You pulled up all the floors. You you started to remodel, and Tim made some friends with neighbors. It was a good old time. However,
I got bitten by rats. It was awful.
you had a little infestation, yeah. But you set up this house around the stockyard so you can keep eye of what appears to be Rictavio's carnival wagon. You haven't met Rictavio, but you've heard quite a bit about him. He's some traveling bard who does performances and ultimately has set up shop here in Vallaki, of all places, just for the last couple weeks. So he's got his caravan that he came here in, stationed in the stockyard. You came to the stockyard, you looked at it. In fact, it was locked. You couldn't figure out a way to get into the wagon. Not sure why you're even breaking into it necessarily, but maybe you were worried that she showed up and then all of a sudden the bones went missing. He could be a criminal or at least somebody who's a suspect. The case of the missing St. Angelo bones. So you tried to break in and you couldn't. So you decided to, take up residence around the stockyard and keep an eye on it. Later that night, early in the morning, before, even though there's no sun, even before what sunup would be, you heard two men entering the stockyard with a crowbar, and they went to the wagon. Yune was sent out by Canas and saw the whole thing. Came back crying that the two men were mauled by this tiger that came out, and the tiger ran off into the darkness, into the night. And we left with that, with the camera stuck on the moonlit window, looking at the four of you peering into the stockyard. So with that, we'll jump in. What do? Yune is there crying.
I saw it all. It was so terrifying. The tiger was so big. They didn't stand a chance.
Yune, are you sure the tiger was big, or was it just a tiger?
No, it was massive. It mauled them.
Compared to regular-sized tigers, how many times larger was it?
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 times bigger.
I'm not quite sure.
But around 4 times. Any other distinct features about it, or was it just an
It had
enormous
these
tiger?
massive fangs coming down its mouth.
I'm going to get my sword and shield and go out to Yune while they're talking.
Okay, so then you're gonna run out no armor, right?
I have my hide armor on.
But you were sleeping.
Oh, true. I would have taken it off. Well, I'm going to put it back on, and however long that takes, I forget.
I don't remember how long it takes. I think it's like a minute. It depends on
It's
the
like a
size
minute,
of the
right?
armor.
Yeah. Well, I'll be doing that.
Okay. And why don't we'll go around the horn here. Michelle, what are you doing?
Yeah,
What's
I
Dione
will
doing?
also quickly grab all of my gear, like don my armor, and I want to just get out the door as quickly as possible. So after I get all my gear on, I'm gonna start gesturing to the others to hurry up. We need to track this thing.
Okay. And you'll gather your gear, and then Laurent, are you doing the same?
Yeah, same. I don't have much gear, so it doesn't take me too long.
Okay. All right, perfect.
Perhaps we should
5
investigate
minutes.
the wagon
Go on.
first.
I was just looking at the armor. It's 5 minutes because it's medium.
5 minutes. Yeah, medium, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And
Can someone help him don it, especially if we have the time to help him get in? Imagine I will act as a squire to help him get his armor on.
I would say we could shorten it. Are you proficient with armor?
That's a really good question.
I know Bard has some proficiencies.
Light armor?
I'm proficient with light armor, so maybe not super helpful, but I can get the padding on the base layers.
Yeah, maybe he could help you. We'll say we could take you know what we'll do? Here, give me a just straight up intelligence check.
Oh, goody.
If you get a 10 or higher, we'll say you can reduce it by half the time. If you were proficient, I would just say it would happen automatically.
Oh.
I'm far from it.
You give him like the wrong things. You give him like greaves, and he wanted
me
he
that.
wanted his helmet. Like you're like, no, come
Sorry,
on.
Rufus, I'm trying my
others.
best.
Can we
It doesn't,
say
it doesn't take longer, does it?
20 minutes?
This is why it takes 5 minutes. They assume that there's a bard helping you get the armor, you know?
Can
Tim
we say
rolled
that
a-
Dione is frustrated watching this and she comes over to also help so that they can just hurry on out of there?
Yeah.
I mean, I also am not proficient with anything other than light armor, but like
Just so we're
two
sure here,
numbers?
Tim rolled a 2 on the dice, so I don't know how much intelligence he has, but
Not much.
Kind of a lot. It just
Not-
didn't work out.
Not Tim, not Laurent. Just not a lot of intelligence going around.
I guess
Dione, go
Laurent
ahead.
was like pre-coffee, you know, like he just woke up.
Yeah, right. Pre-coffee.
pre-coffee. Give me a roll, Dione,
Sure.
and call it out when you're good to go.
Oh my god. Also a little sleepy. Got me a 7.
Okay, well then, yeah, it's gonna take you the full 5 minutes, Rufus.
We're like trying to put boots on his head.
Rufus's
Yeah.
armor is actually a Rubik's Cube, which is why it's so difficult.
This armor is so antique. It's difficult. It's hide armor from the past. I need
That's
to get
true.
some proper chain mail from somewhere.
Standing by the
Funny.
door while everyone's
Like-
trying to help him. Are you ready? Let's
It
go
feels.
investigate.
I am ready now. 5 minutes have passed.
Ah,
All right, you rush
All right,
downstairs now with the
let's go.
utmost,
We're the Grayscale gang.
the Grayscale
Oh!
gang. Not bad.
Grayscale gang, yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna write that one down because I know we're gonna forget these.
It's true.
Grayscale gang. Was that your idea?
Just thought of it.
Don't
Something
take credit for
some
somebody in the
alliteration.
chat now, okay? Don't do that.
We'll come back. We'll figure it out.
All right,
figure it
I'll
out.
just type in the chat really quick, so I could take credit for my own idea.
How dare you?
Copyright it, yeah.
Nice.
There it is. Cam likes it. Thank you, Cam. Appreciate that. All right, so here we go. So you rush down the stairs. You run into the living room that's got the floorboards all ripped up from the mouse or rat attack, and then you run out the door. Because this was loud, right? There were screams. There was pain, screams of agony and pain. You can see, even though the lights are not on in some houses, people have definitely opened their windows up. Tim, you gotta remind me. Do you remember the neighbor's name?
I think I might have
Rick.
Emmerich.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emmerich. You could see Emmerich's
Nice.
window open, like the what looks like a bedroom window open, but candlelight maybe illuminating just the frame, and you can see he's looking out. But that's it. Nobody's really you get the sense even in Valaki, most people don't get the don't want to fully know what's going on outside all the time. So very few people would be willing to stick their neck out, literally and figuratively, like you're doing. All right. So you rush over to the stockyard. You finally get around the side where you can enter, and you can see, like I said, the carnage. There's blood splattered all over the floor. It looks as though the carnival wagon has been opened, right? Like the doors have been burst forth. It's splintered wood, and the chains are now dragged all over the floor. And you could see 2 men's bodies lying on the ground. What do you do?
Are they dead? Can we check them?
Give me a medicine check as you walk over, or run over.
Yep.
And then call out your
14.
number. 14?
14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. A 14. They are not dead. You check their pulse. You kind of see their wounds. They are bleeding pretty badly from a few injuries. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have each of you roll a d20 for me. Roll a d20. Each of you.
Got it.
And then call out your numbers.
7.
4.
17.
18.
Okay. One brother's fared much better than the other. You can see they have a resemblance to each other, both relatively dark hair. In fact, you can, even though they are hurt, you can actually get a sense of who they are. You actually remember these people. Just yesterday, you were walking by the Blue Water Inn, and these two eyed you up and down. I think it was Canas, right? I think
Yeah.
in the street.
The rude guys.
Yeah, they were eyeing you up and down, the two of them, and they do have, like I said, a familial resemblance to each other. They were walking into the Blue Water Inn as you were walking by it before you met our great toy maker Blinsky. All right, so one brother fared better than the other. He seems to have what looks like a minor scar, maybe somewhere around his chest area, where it looks like a scratch mark, a rake of a claw. But then it also looks as though he has like a festering bite wound in his thigh. That's the one brother. The other, though, is much worse for wear here. He looks like he's got like his stomach torn open. He's bleeding profusely, hemorrhaging blood. And then the other is that he is... It looks as though his leg might be broken. Like in a pounce, the creature stood in all of its weight on him, and it looks like his leg is twisted in a direction it's not supposed to be headed.
Do I feel this is something that lay on hands could heal, or is it not that kind of wound?
The leg part, probably not, but the internal wounds, you could stop the bleeding, yeah.
Okay, I'll give him I lay on the hands and I ask the Gwain Lord to heal him, but I'll only use 3 points initially and see what happens, because I don't want to make him too robust straight away.
Yeah, you can feel the radiant energy flowing through your body and imbue into your patient. And this man wakes up from this. You bring him back from the verge of death, and he calls out, and he's like, "Mother! Mother!" And he coughs up blood, and you can see, like, he looks down at his leg. My leg! My leg! Help me!
Who is your mother?
Do not be afraid. I'll give him another 2 lay on hand points. It seems like he's still pretty sick.
He's pretty bad. Yeah, you give him 2. So you stop
It's
the
a
bleeding,
5,
like
yeah.
his internal bleeding. It looks like it's slowed down. I mean, you haven't closed the wounds fully, but, applying pressure and things like that, you seem like this has now become a first aid type condition here. The leg, though, you don't get the sense that you can fix that. Or at least not with lay on hands points.
Right. It's broken.
He says, "My mother, Lady Wachter, you must get her."
Is she a doctor of sorts?
No,
You'll
but
go.
she'll need to know that we're dying. And he looks over to his brother. Is he dead?
You're not dying, sir.
I think he's fine.
Well, I'm
I
in great
healed you.
agony. My leg.
You're going to be okay.
Stop being such a crybaby. I slap him in the face.
How much damage do you do? 1 point?
I don't know. How much
just
damage
gave him
does
that
a slap
point.
do? I have his +0 to strength.
All right, so you smack him to just kind of wake him out, shock of the senses, and he quiets down. He's still breathing pretty heavy. He really did suffer a wound that over time he would have bled out for certain. And in fact, he's already bled out a ton. So he will need to be, he'll need a lot of rest to recover.
I'm gonna go check out the wagon, the inside of the wagon.
Okay. And what are the rest of us doing? Laurent, what are you doing?
If he is healed enough, then I think going to check out the wagon is probably also the best choice. Definitely going with everyone to check that out.
All right, wagon. So you guys, 2 of you go to the wagon. Dione, are you staying with the patients, or are you going to the wagon as well?
I think if everyone else is going to the wagon, then I will stay with these 2 brothers.
Okay, I don't think Rufus is going because he's been doing the lay on hands and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I'm healing them.
He is the one doing the first aid.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, you'll stay with them. All right, then I'll.
You want to go to the wagon?
I want to go to the wagon, but
Okay,
do
you
we
can go to the
trust
wagon.
Rufus alone with these guys? Ow.
Honestly, there's no one I'd rather be having to do it first aid.
Funny
Look for
though,
the-
Michelle, right? He wanted to put the wolf out of its misery when it was caught in the trap, but now he's happy to heal these guys, these
These bums.
drunkards on the.
Wolf's just an animal.
Just a little speciesist, Mr. Rufus.
Skip the bones are in the wagon. I'll help these two.
Dione goes to the wagon.
Okay, so the wagon is wide open, like I said, cracked open. The door, splintered wood hanging on the hinges, and the colorful paint that used to be, displaying Rictavio's carnival wagon is now all destroyed all over the floor. Inside the spacious wagon, you can see that there's a variety of compartments, as well as what looks like a tiny little cot. I wouldn't say makeshift, but it's definitely a small bed area, and the smell of rotten meat, as well as like urine and feces of this large cat that was in here.
Disgusting. I spit on the floor.
Puh.
Yeah. Ugh, I ate cats. Ugh.
I wish they were in traps.
Yes, exactly.
I'd like to start opening some of these compartments and checking out what's in them.
You can find a wooden coffer. You can find by like the bed. There's a small prayer book. It looks like there's a healer's kit in one of the cabinets as well. What are you doing, Tim?
Is there any way to identify like what type of rotting meat this is? Or
Give
is
me
it so beyond?
Yeah, no, you could. Give me I would say probably perception check maybe to smell it.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a blast.
It looks like there's maybe like stains. You're not sure if it's blood, but it's pinkish on the floor of the wagon.
8 on perception?
You have no idea. It's too hard to tell. There's
It's
too many
just
other
gross.
smells,
Can I maybe see if I can recognize that fetid stench of werewolf meat?
Sure, go ahead. Give me a perception check as well.
All right. One of these. A 13.
A 13, you say?
A 13, I say.
Michelle, it is certainly not werewolf meat, but you get the sense that it is maybe like some sort of meat, like a lamb or goat, and it was probably the food of this cat.
Just get food.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I point out the bed. Is that where the animal slept, or maybe where Rictavio slept?
It looks like a humanoid bed, like a bed fit for a person. The cat didn't seem to have much, maybe some straw on the floor, but for the most part, the cat just kind of laid there in the center of the wagon. Like I said, it's a spacious
cats
wagon,
do.
but it's not much bigger than like 15 feet long,
Perhaps this is the rotting flesh of Rictavio.
You said you were looking at the bed though, right?
Yeah.
You can see there's a wooden trunk underneath the bed.
Right.
Pull it out. Pull it out.
I'll grab it.
Sure,
Is
it
there
is
a lock?
locked.
Is there a lock on it?
However, it is locked. There's a little keyhole for the trunk to unlock it. You don't have the key, obviously.
Dione, I know you didn't have much luck with the wagon, but perhaps you could pick this one.
Whooshing! I whip out my thieves' tools.
Sure, give me
I'm
a
ready.
dexterity one. Yeah.
Dexterity.
Yep.
Da-da-da. All right, please. Good God. A 9.
Unfortunately, the trunk is not going to unlock with that.
Man.
So
Not great.
let's just jump over. So you were all on the cart. Just to summarize what we found here. So there was a wooden coffer in one of the cabinets, cupboards, compartments, whatever they're called. You also found a small prayer book near the bed, a healer's kit in one of the other cupboards, and a trunk underneath the bed. You also examined the stains on the floor where the cat might have been sleeping, and it looks like there's stains of dried meat or rotten meat that the cat probably has eaten, and just needs to be really thoroughly cleaned. And then in addition to the cat pee smell. We're going to jump over to Andrew, though. Andrew, you've been left alone. I mean, they're not far away from the wagon, but these men probably, when the creature attacked, they ran for it, right? And so they're probably like 20 to 30 feet away from the wagon. So you're not with the group at this point. And the one man crawls over towards you as you're assessing his brother, and he goes, "Tell me he's going to be okay."
Oh yes, he's going to be okay. I have staunched the bleeding, sealed the wound. What are your names? What are your names?
He says, "My name is Nikolai, and that is Carl." He says, "Please make sure he's all right. Why isn't he awake?" Carl is not the injured one. Carl is pretty, like I said, his wounds were superficial.
Right. He's going to be just fine. Tell me, where should I take you? Is there a place for hospital, a place for injured people in the town?
Take me to my home.
Where is that?
The Wachter house. I will show you how to get there.
How far is it from this place?
He says, "Not far. We could be there soon."
Can you walk?
He says, "I don't know." And he tries to prop himself up, but between his ripped abdomen as well as his leg, he can't even really lift himself off the ground. He groans in pain. He's like, "I don't think it's possible."
My friends will help you when they come back. They're just looking in the wagon.
"Please wake him, though. Reassure me that he'll be all right."
Nikolai.
He looks at you.
Nikolai. Wake Nikolai.
No, Nikolai is awake. Carl is the one that's unconscious, but his wounds were less severe.
Oh.
You woke up the one who had the most internal bleeding and the broken leg.
Oh. Okay.
He's the
Well,
one who
I'll
woke
go
up.
and
Yeah.
I'll go over to Carl and look at him.
Yeah. So Carl is you don't really. I mean, you made a medicine check to tell that he's alive as well.
Yeah, right. Gave him a 1 over. Now I'll try and wake him up. See if I can.
Do you have any lay on hands left?
Yeah, I can give him. I'll give him 2 lay on hands points.
Okay. He'll wake up as well, and he's not as frantic as his brother was. But he is a little shocked to see you. Who are you?
Hello.
What are you doing here?
I am Rufus of Gwaindire. We have visitors here. I believe we saw you earlier, entering the inn as we were walking past. We went in the toy shop. You did not look pleased to see us.
Yes, I remember you. Yes, I remember you well. You stand out like a sore thumb. He coughs and kind of wipes the spittle from his mouth. He'll actually look around. The beast. Where is it?
It has escaped. It is gone.
Rufus, give me a perception check here.
Perception check. Yeah. That is a high one. 21.
21. You smell the alcohol on this guy's breath. It's like potent. I mean, he must have drank a ton.
Oh, they've probably been in the bar all night.
Yeah. And you could see he's actually reaching for the crowbar that's not too far away from him. Like it's just past his outstretched hand right now, but he's slowly reaching for it while he's talking to you.
I'll pick up the crowbar that he's reaching for. And I'll say, why were you trying to break into the carriage here, why are you trying to break into the traveler's trailer?
He wakes up, he sits up, he kind of props himself up on his elbow, and he looks to you and he goes, he's holding his chest because that's where his big rake was, and he's like feeling it and sensing how much damage it really is. And he goes, that carnival wagon, I was very certain it would be filled with wine. Looks like we were wrong.
This makes sense. Well, perhaps you better lay off the wine for a bit. We can get you to your home. Make you comfortable.
He gets up. He's kind of with it now. He gets up and he says, I appreciate all you've done for us. He says, we'll be going now, right? Right, Nikolai? And Nikolai goes, I told you we shouldn't have gone in here. We shouldn't have done it. He's like, stop being a baby.
Are you well enough to help your friend?
My brother.
Nikolai?
My
brother?
brother, he says. Carl says to you.
Can you get him to the home? I think he will be okay. He needs to rest now.
I'll get him home. Don't you worry. Here. And he reaches into his coin purse and he pulls out like 10 gold pieces and he tosses them to you. For your
Thank
troubles.
you, but it was nothing. The Gwain Lord go with you.
He says, well, it's not necessarily just for the help. Nobody needs to know about this.
About you trying to break into the carriage?
Aye.
Well, I think that might be for the best.
He says, and Nikolai will join the conversation. He says, yes, help me, brother, help me. And Carl comes over, lifts him up, and Nikolai says, he says, I told you there was no wine. If Danica and Erwin don't have the wine, why would this man have it? And he goes, doesn't matter. Stop talking. Let's go. And he starts to help his brother up, carries him practically, like a fireman carry, and then starts to walk away.
Good luck. I'll see them go, and then I'll anxiously come back towards the wagon.
Okay. Rejoin the group.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Is Irina's with us as well, right? She's probably with me.
No, I think Irina stayed back at the house with the baby.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So I'll go over to the wagon.
Oh, Rufus, did you put them out of their misery?
One of
Put
them was
to
not.
sleep?
One of them was not badly hurt. He was just knocked out.
Did they say what attacked them?
They said a beast.
Did you find out what their problem with us was?
I think they are not the most reputable men. They were apparently breaking into the wagon for the wine supply that they believed to be in the wagon. I think they were rather far past the mast at this point of the evening.
Well, clearly that worked out for them well enough.
Yes,
like
well,
that
I think they
phrase.
learned a lesson, so I think we'll leave it at that with them.
They left.
They've gone home to rest.
And the beast is just out and about.
We should probably look for it, but did you find the bones in the wagon? What's in that chest there?
I'm
Dione, that you're looking
gonna
at.
shake the chest.
Yeah,
little bit.
shake it. Can we hear anything?
The chest? Yeah, you could probably shake it. Yeah.
Like a kid on Christmas.
It's probably a little big for one person to shake, but perhaps if two of you lifted it up, you could give it a good tussle.
Oh, yeah.
I hold one end. I'm ready.
I'm holding it too.
Oh, shall we shake?
You'd hear something rattling inside for sure. Many
down.
Many items rattling.
Lay it down. Lay it down. I've still got the crowbar I took off the men.
You do.
Try and
Yeah.
bust it open with a crowbar.
Sure, give me a strength check.
I'm good at strength.
And if somebody wants to help him, you can give him an advantage.
Can I cast like heat metal on the hinges or lock if that would help?
Certainly, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Actually, no, that's like a really high spell. Never mind, don't do it.
It is a high spell,
Str-
but it would make it, you would melt the lock, yeah.
Strength as in strength or strength as in athletics?
I'll take athletics, yeah.
Can I cast guidance instead?
You can.
That's free.
You can.
And I'm
I
right
rolled
there.
advantage.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're holding the chest steady. I don't know. He's got
Yeah.
an 18. He's
So-
got an 18.
So Dione and Canas hold it steady, which gives you advantage, Rufus.
Oh, okay,
And
so I
then
got 18
Laurent gives you an extra
native.
D4.
And
Plus
you
a
got
D4.
Plus a
Plus
D4.
the D4.
So it's an 18, right?
Plus a D4. Which is
20.
20.
So thank God it wasn't a 1, right?
Well, I don't know what the DC is.
Thank God it wasn't a 1. You crack and splinter the wood. The lock is broken from the lock releases its hold on the top of the trunk and pops open. Inside, you can see a variety of items, including 3 wooden holy symbols inlaid with silver in the shape of a sunburst, a silvered short sword, you could find a hand crossbow inlaid with mother of pearl and a bundle of 20 crossbow bolts, all silver tipped. You also find a worn leather case.
What's in the case?
You pull up the worn leather case, unwrap it. There are 3 sharpened wooden stakes, a sack of garlic, a jar of salt, a box of holy wafers, 6 vials of holy water, a polished steel mirror, and a bone scroll tube with a silver topper.
Ooh.
This
Wow.
means something to me, Tim Lucas. Would these items represent anything to Laurent or anyone else?
Well, all the we know that silvered items work
The
against some of
werewolf.
these creatures. Yeah, the werewolves for sure.
I mean, look, if you're asking about, like, is this like to kill a vampire, Tim Lucas? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, would this be like
Yeah.
common knowledge?
I would say maybe make either a we'll say maybe either religion or arcana check.
Okay, I'll try religion. Let's see if this means anything to me. It's a
Ooh.
14 on religion.
Actually,
Oh.
No, 23 on religion. I'm sorry. Rufus got a 14. I know a lot
Yeah.
more about religion than him.
Yeah, screw you, Rufus.
Hell, I
With
am
a-
blessed by my God.
I'd say both of you, with even the 14 for Rufus, would know that this does look like items necessary to perhaps kill or destroy a vampire.
But no bones.
No bones. No bones. No bones about it. So right now, the things you haven't opened are the scroll tube and the wooden coffer.
I'll check out the wooden coffer.
That was in one of the cupboards that you checked, so
Yeah,
you probably
that
have that.
Right.
There's 50 silver pieces bearing Strahd's profile on them.
Interesting.
Also, 6 gemstones of a variety of colors. Think of infinity stones. Think I got a red one, a green one, a purple one.
Damn.
I've got a new plan to beat Strahd. We're going to take his coins, we're going to make new currency, and inflate the Strahd economy. So his money is worthless.
Classic.
I'm for sure gonna take one of those coins.
Okay, take one of the coins. Gotcha.
I will take whatever everyone else does not take of the coins and gems.
You're
it
taking all the money?
Take it off.
Yes.
Are we, Dione? Are we really gonna rob this guy blind?
I do not agree with this man. I think I have misjudged this man.
This
He seems
man
to
might be an ally.
He seems to be an ally. He has knowledge of how to defeat vampires. He hates werewolves, which is anybody would. Any reasonable person. I don't know if we should rob him. Maybe we should take some of these items for safekeeping in case the other peasants were to break in and rob him after us.
To be fair, he was also keeping a dangerous tiger, lion, beast in his care. So before we judge him too gently or too quickly, we
Well,
can't forget that.
perhaps he
To
was
be
planning
fair.
to unleash this beast on Strahd himself
Hmm.
as a distraction.
Tiger
haven't
is a
looked at-
conundrum.
In the scroll tube yet, but if we open up the prayer book, is there an inscription or anything inside that would suggest who it belongs to besides the guy's name?
There are Rictavio is the name of the bard.
Yeah.
There is no name inscribed in it, like no
Yeah.
like he didn't write his name in the cover of the book or anything like that. But there are notes scribbled all in the margins, almost on like many pages. I would say a majority of the pages. Again, it's a prayer book, so it's just prayers. And the goddess looks like it would be that of Lathander of the Forgotten Realms,
Morning
where
Lord.
you're all from.
Yeah.
But the notes are indecipherable. Like the shorthand or whatever scribbles is chicken scratch. It is literally impossible to read.
And then last question: if no one else is going to, can I crack open that scroll tube?
Scroll tube it is. The tube contains a spell scroll of the following spells. Protection from fiends and protection from undead.
Oh. Does anyone else want those?
Listen, I actually have a thought.
Mhm.
This man's wagon was broken into. Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
If we just leave everything here, anyone could come and take it.
But that's what I just
Correct.
said.
So
It was my fault.
perhaps we should take everything for safekeeping.
For safekeeping.
Or
Right.
safekeeping?
Of course.
Stop resisting. You're being liberated.
I'll start gathering everything up.
Stop resisting.
Yes.
It's for his own good.
But I'm leaving everything like where it was, but I am pocketing one of those coins.
All right, I'm pocketing 49 coins then. Unless
Well, I'm bringing the wooden coffer with
So the
me.
whole, all 50 of them are coming with you. You're just not personally taking them.
Yes.
Gotcha.
all right, Dione was going to personally take them, but yeah, we can leave them in the coffer. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm
And
gonna
then,
take the spell scroll.
Okay, so let's just keep it in the bone scroll tube with the silver top,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Who's taking the vampire hunter starter kit?
I can take that and the crossbow.
Okay. Do you use hand crossbows? Or your paladins have access to all of that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'll double check what you're
I
carrying
think
on.
most of us could actually use it.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, probably the person who could use it best
Dione?
would be
Irina.
Dione,
Yeah.
because you're
Oh.
dexterity based.
Yeah,
that'd be,
I'll give it to
that'd
you.
be a nice ranged way to get sneak attack.
Yeah.
I have spells that can shoot, so I don't really need it.
Okay, so
I mean-
Dione, you're going to take the hand crossbow, and I think hand crossbow is on the rogues list.
Certainly there's no
Perfect.
harm in keeping these items until we speak
Fine.
to Rictavio himself.
This Rick
Yes.
Javier.
And
I-
Michelle, you also get 20 silvered crossbow bolts.
Right. Okay. So I will stash these things, and I kind of eye the silver tipped bolts like, ugh,
You put it in
this
your
feels so
pack.
violent. And then I put it in my pack. For
Who's got the
safekeeping.
silvered short sword? Can I take that for Irina?
I
Does
think.
Irina have now?
She's got a dagger, right?
Yeah.
Weren't we bringing everything back to the house anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, you bring it all, but just, if some people are going to actually hold on to certain instead of it being just like in the trunk,
Okay.
Okay, so let's do this. We'll move it all. So right now, Tim, you've got the scrolls. Rufus, you have... I don't know why I said Tim. Laurent has the scrolls. Rufus has the vampire killer starter set. And Dione has the crossbow bolts and the hand crossbow. The silver short sword is going to be given to Irina. The holy symbols and the healer's kit, the prayer book, and the wooden coffer are all going into the trunk, and your Canas is taking that back to the house. Sounds right?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Can I want to inspect one of those holy symbols. You said something about a sunburst.
Yeah, it's like a symbol of
Lathander.
Lathander, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Looks to be of the Temple of Lathander.
What do you want to inspect it for? Are you trying to notice something about it, or?
Yeah. I guess. I just wanted to see if there was anything special about it as opposed to the other holy symbols that I've seen.
It seems rather mundane. Very well made. Probably could fetch you a decent amount of money each of them. But here,
Interesting.
not so much.
We should go before someone mistakes us for the breakers and enterers.
Which we were totally trying to be yesterday, but anyway, this is besides the point.
Where to now? Are you going back to the house?
Are we gonna let that beast just roam the night?
Oh, yeah.
Is that not our problem? I'm okay with not my pig, not my farm. Just making sure we're all in consensus that this tiger is now whatever doing it wants.
I would like to drop off these items so
Yeah,
that we are not traveling with everything that Rictavio owned as we walk through the streets. And yes, then I believe we should go track this being.
But perhaps we should, if the guards have to earn their salary and the salary they take, maybe that's not such a bad thing.
Well, either way, back to the house, though, right?
Back to the house
Yeah.
first.
Like, real quick stop.
So you,
As we walk to the house, can I also like scan the area to see if I see any signs of tracks that the beast may have left behind?
sure, give me a survival check, and you'll just call out your numbers again, because we're still not on the Roll20 screen.
Oh, sure, no worries. Okay, we got a 12.
I mean, you saw some tracks maybe leaving the stockyard, but once out into the main road, not so much. What looks like tracks disappear in the night.
Okay. Any tracks that I do see, I want to like kind of sear the image in my brain so I remember what the tracks of this specific creature look like, as opposed to like werewolves or something else.
I would say with your extensive training, you probably would recognize the difference easily. Even with a 12 here, give me another check for that, a survival skill.
Sure.
And give me advantage on it.
Oh, yay, advantage. Oh, well, with advantage, it's an 11.
No matter what, you're going to know the difference between a werewolf track and this. But could you recognize it so differently than from like a bear or something? That you might have a hard time with.
See. Okay. Well, I will try to imprint it in my brain so that like later when we come back, hopefully I'll be able to identify which set of tracks is the correct beast.
But you know what? If you follow the wrong track set and you find a bear instead, then you know it's wrong.
Then it's a supernatural 20 crossover. And then we see what happens.
That's it.
Laurent, do you think you
Yes.
could ask your new friend Emmerich if he saw this thing and maybe in which direction it went?
If I look over towards his house, is he still at the window, or is he kind of tucked back inside?
Like you look and you see like the candle lighting the frame and his little tiny, like just his eyes popping out from behind the corner of the whatchamacallit, the shutters, and then immediately closes it. Light goes off.
Perhaps not.
I don't think he's in the neighborly mood for a cup of sugar, if you catch my drift.
Well, to the hunt?
On to the hunt.
All right, so you run back to the house. You drop the stuff off. Irina just asks, clarifies what happened. Do you just kind of give her a quick rundown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I
says,
give her the
Micah's
silver.
still sleeping, so should I stay here?
Yes. I'll give her the silvered short sword.
Oh, what is this?
We found this in the wagon. It may protect you. It's silvered. Better than that dagger.
She says, it
think
certainly is. And it looks
we tried
finely
to-
crafted.
You could wield both weapons maybe in a pinch, as you have no shield.
She measures the weight of it, kind of gives it a quick swing. This will do nicely, she says.
Will
I
you
feel
be
much more comfortable with it.
Will you be alright with us not here?
I think so. I mean, I'm going to stay in our room, and Micah and I will just take the morning as it comes.
Yes. Well, guard Rictavio's things, especially these gemstones. I look at Dione.
We won't be long.
Okay. All right, so the four of you head out, and Yune's coming with you, Canas?
Yes. Oh, Yune. I have Yune turn into a raven
Okay.
so that Yune can kind of travel along with us.
Okay, great. You exit out the area of your neighborhood, obviously not through the stockyard, around it, and you get to the main road. Again, you've lost the tracks. You don't really see anything here. The sun I said the sun. Morning has not yet arrived. The sun is not arriving anytime soon.
Right, never.
Never. But the morning has not yet arrived. It's probably somewhere in the realm of like the hour before dawn would have normally arrived. So people are just now even. You can see fires lit, chimneys, starting to pour smoke out, but nobody's opened their doors. It's still pitch black outside. Most homes have only like one tiny room illuminated, so nothing is really bustling yet. No one is on the street, and you march down towards the center of town. You pass Blinsky Toys. You're coming up towards the Blue Water Inn. What do you do?
Is there any hustle and bustle coming from the Blue Water?
The Blue Water Inn, up in the distance, you can tell that they probably are preparing for the morning patrons. So yeah, you'll see like that there's smoke coming out of their chimneys for sure. The hearth must be going, preparing meals. But it doesn't look like it's necessarily open for business. Although you could in theory, you could check.
And so far, there's been like no sign in the street of any like other disturbances besides the 2 guys who got roughed up going into the wagon.
None. Nobody's dead. There's no blood trails. There's no other screaming victims. No.
The wall around the place.
Mhm.
Would that keep a tiger out or in?
It certainly would keep an animal in or out. Like first, either one way or the other. Yeah.
So the tiger's got to be here somewhere.
Oh yeah, that you don't think that a creature even of a tiger size would be able to leap the wall? It's far too high. It's
Okay.
like the height of like a 2-story building.
We should keep searching.
Rufus, did those boys say where they lived?
I didn't get the address.
They
I
only
didn't get
told
it.
you. I don't know if you want to tell this to everybody, but they said the Wachter house.
They said something about a Vactor house.
The Wachter house.
Lady
With a W. Yeah,
Lady
yeah.
Wachter, right? That's the one that they said their mother was.
Right, yes, exactly. Maybe we could ask somebody. But why do you want to see those people?
It's good to have somebody in debt.
Well, I
we
see what you mean, but I don't see they're particularly helpful. They're just kind of drunken. They seem to be the more well-to-do sort of people here, but kind of drunken. They don't.
Well, perhaps it would be good to get more information from the regular, average Valakian. Especially
What
since they were looking at us strangely as we were passing this inn that we were so unceremoniously kicked out of.
Mhm. But what about the tiger? We should continue to search.
I think
I'm-
Rictavio's a were-tiger.
You think?
I think Rictavio is a were-tiger.
It's kind of curious. But they said that he was feeding the tiger and that he would bring the meat to the tiger. He was seen
That's what your neighbor told
Bringing
you.
meat to the
to
wagon,
the wagon.
but have Rictavio and the tiger been seen in the same space at the same time? And now we're having a difficult time tracking this tiger, and no one else seems to be particularly bothered by the fact there's a tiger running about in the middle of the day. Because what if
It's
Rictavio
not the middle
himself,
of the day, though. It's
middle
not the
of the
middle of the day.
early in the night, late in the night,
Late
either
in the
way, Rictavio's a were-tiger. I'm convinced.
Well, this is a large town, and a tiger would. We are searching the main streets, which, to think about it, is a bit ill-advised. I think a tiger would want to slink somewhere. No.
Especially a tiger with human intelligence.
Well, it is a theory. We can consider it. Perhaps we can ask this Rictavio if we can find him.
Well, I suppose we should continue on. Perhaps it'll be easier to find the tiger if we split up.
I'm going to switch over to our map view because I think we're all talking about main
Yeah.
roads and slinking away, and so it might be good to look at the map. So the group has headed from the scene of the crime and your home, which is this house, towards the Blue Water Inn. You just passed Blinsky Toys, and you can see the Blue Water Inn in the distance.
It's no fun. It's no Blinsky.
Is no fun, is no Blinsky. So, do you want to keep heading towards the Blue Water Inn, or do you want to go somewhere else?
I
think
kind of
we're
want to go
just-
north to the
Yeah.
Zarowich Gate. Never been there before.
Want to start heading north?
We haven't seen. Sorry. At least could I look for signs of tracks or some sort of something left by this beast?
Certainly, you could try. Give me a survival check.
Because otherwise, we're just kind of roaming around the town with nowhere to go.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, no, there's no tracks here. You don't see any tracks. At least this main road that you've been on, you've been looking, but there's nothing here. So I'll say you get to
Seems-
that crossroad in the center of town. You can either cross the road and go to the Blue Water Inn, or go north on that road that leads to the Zarowich Gate, or go south towards the Common.
I mean, if we're at the Blue Water Inn, it makes sense to at least look in the windows.
Want to
See
look in?
what-
Go ahead.
See what Danica and Irwin are up to.
Sure.
Yeah, as we walk by, I'd like to, if there's any windows that are like more lit than others, you know, like the bakery, the back windows would be lit and the front windows would be not, if they're not open. I'd like to go to like a well or more well lit window and kind of try to subtly peek my little head in.
I would say that's actually probably accurate. It looks like the back of the inn is lit, but the front where the tavern would have been, you entered the first time, that's closed. That lights are off, and you head around back. You notice that the Blue Water Inn has stables. In fact, quite a few stable stalls, so that people could park their mules or horses even. But they don't look like they are in much use right now.
And
Any blood stains that he eaten mules?
Chunks
do
of
you-
rotting flesh.
Would you like to look?
Perhaps.
Would you like to look in one of the stalls?
yeah,
Okay. So there are 4 stalls, and it looks as though all of them are. You kind of do a quick check, like from a distance, maybe to see, like underneath, is there any creature here? You don't see a horse, but what looks like in one of the middle stalls, there's a person sleeping.
What
Hard
does
to
he
tell.
look like?
Hard to tell without going into the stall to see. There's no light source here. I know Dione has pretty excellent dark vision, but even then, still in grayscale, hard to make out the features of this person. Just you see a lump covered with like a sleeping bag.
Can I try to like stealthily get as close as I can and discern whatever details I'm able to?
Certainly, give me a stealth check, and I'm gonna give you advantage on it because the individual is sleeping.
All right. That's a 22.
Describe how you do it.
Oh, all right. Stables. I'm going to very acrobatically shimmy up like one of the posts on the side of the stable. I'll like grab one point of it and
Pillar?
then like
Yeah.
swing myself up like a tiny boulder shaped Tarzan. And then I will scuttle along the wall, the side wall, and like peer down at the sleeping form.
Now
Oh,
that you have,
that's-
just make it as well. You rolled so well, a 22, so might as well make it as like epic as possible, right? Not just gonna
Yes.
tiptoe.
Right.
Just like I walk in quietly.
Banana, Pink Panther style. No, this is a boulder that, like, from a distance looks like it's levitating.
That's
But no,
awesome.
just incredibly acrobatic, Dione.
Yeah, and it is. So you nimbly rise up on top of the stable. Now you've got a great vantage point looking down. In fact, you get to the corner where the body is kind of slumped together. It looks like a young girl, maybe late teens, and she has curly blonde hair, and she's fast asleep.
Do I
Let's
see
see.
any packs or, like, any gear with her?
Looks like a backpack. In fact, it looks like Irina's backpack.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay. I assume Irina's backpack weighed more than 10 pounds.
I
She
don't
had a
think
lot of
so,
stuff in
actually. She had a change of clothes and the map of Barovia. Maybe a couple of trinkets, but no, I wouldn't say it's more than 10 pounds.
Okay. All right. And the other guys are they gathered around? Are you like gathered around the front of the stable? Like
Yeah.
if she tried to bolt, would she run into the others?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna plant myself.
Okay. All right. I'm going to use my mage hand.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and lift this bag away from her. And then up to where I can grab it out of the air.
Great. So since you had such a high stealth check, I'm going to say that it won't wake her up as you pull it up. And she was using it kind of like as a pillow, but, when people sleep, they move. So the backpack was just kind of like near her head. You lift it, some strands of hay drift off of it as it levitates into the air. And it comes to you, almost like Luke Skywalker using the Force.
Okay, so then I snatch the bag out of the air. I scuttle back along the side of the stable, and still perched on the top like a strange boulder-shaped gargoyle, I whisper to the others, "It is the girl. The girl, blonde hair.
The thief?
I have retrieved Irina's bag,
Oh,
but it is her. The girl. Maybe she knows something about the bones. Remember, we found the heir, one of our heirs. And then I remember that I actually collected the hair from the place where the bones of Saint Andrel were stored. So I'm going to go into, because I'm a weirdo and I keep these things. So I'm going to go into my pack and I'm going to pull out that single long blonde hair, the curly blonde hair that I took from the church cellar. And I will say, I think this is her. And I point at the girl and I point at the hair.
Science.
Science.
You must interrogate her.
Yes.
Science.
How old is this girl?
16, 17, 18, somewhere in that range.
Okay. So, yeah, she's not like 10.
A young lady. A young lady.
Hmm.
The
Okay.
Gwaindire, the peasants often marry before that age.
10.
17.
Okay, just checking.
At least let them hit puberty,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you suggest that we do without her kicking and screaming?
Is this a place where noise would cause people to become aware?
Well, actually, it's a good question. Give me an insight check. Anybody can make this, honestly, but I think your character is the one that's thinking about it.
18.
So if you look at the map here, the stables are kind of like right behind the Blue Water Inn. So it's kind of like the Blue Water Inn is the big feature here on this like block of the of Vallaki. So there's a distance between it and other homes and other shops, and the other shops are closed. So, I mean, if she were to scream at the top of her lungs, you might wake up some of the people from the houses, but how many people, and like I said, that's not really certain.
I feel like these people are not the type of people to run to people's aid anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say they seem like the opposite to ignore a screen completely.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not gonna hurt her permanently. We're not gonna hurt her at all. We're just gonna talk to her, ask her some questions, maybe bring her to the priest.
You guys, you are the silver-tongued ones, okay? So, when she awakes, you talk. And I will scuttle back across the wall of the stable, and then position myself just so.
You ready to pounce?
And when I'm immediately, like directly over her, I will jump down trying to land like right on her chest.
Give me an
So, like-
acrobatics check. Give me.
I was just gonna lightly kick her away.
Yeah, can we shut the
This is way more
stable
fun,
door?
fun.
Can we lock the stable door before this happens? We go in and shut the door.
Well, I don't know that a stable has a door,
A lock.
right? Like it's not a bathroom stall. It's a for a horse, right? So like I think it's just open.
Okay.
But you're in the
Then the
you're
horse
in
could
the-
escape.
Yeah, the horse would get out, right? Unless
At
they
most,
tie
it
the
would
horse
be
up.
like a little
Let me see.
latch.
I'm not an equestrian, so I'm gonna
Well, there's,
chat.
there's different
does-
types of stables. Some of them have doors, some of them
Would a
Some of them are
stable have-
unstable.
Ha.
don't. You know.
Would stables have doors? Okay, so I'm
Any
looking at
equestrians in the chat?
yeah. If we're in equestrian, let me know. It looks like as though there is
Yeah.
actually quite a bit of literature on this. So they're actually called tack rooms and tool rooms, and tack rooms are where you keep all your gear, and so there would be like doors for that. There are other rooms that
Don't they have like a split door?
Just
so
yeah,
that
just
the
Google
horse
image
can
it. There are doors
poke
all
out?
over the place.
Yeah. So that.
well, this is like an equestrian stable. This is like if you were like owned a horse.
But wouldn't they have a little door so it could poke its head out? You know those.
Yeah, that's where
those
the
doors
they-
with
they
the,
like-
the
Yeah.
top door
put
and
their
then the
little
bottom
heads
door.
over there.
You
Mr.
give them
Ed.
like treats through
Yeah.
the hole. in
There
the
was a
door.
stable at Nate and Chelsea's wedding, and you could see the horses
Oh, really?
peeking their heads out of the stable doors. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Ed style. Yeah. Okay. We could do the door. Yeah. There's a stable door with the little
Right.
head window.
So we're gonna shut that.
All right. Logic wins the day.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Mr. Blank says yes. Otherwise, people might borrow horses. So yeah.
Right.
Oh, I just noticed Wayne in the chat said, "Cheers for the Char Coalition."
Well, that's another group.
That's the
Oh.
Keep on the Borderlands crew. That's the Char Coalition.
Oh, man.
But
I
I'm
thought
thinking
it was a
Grey-
Gray Gang play on words. I got
I
excited.
think
hang on,
Grayscale
hang on.
Gang is sticking.
There's the expression: "Don't shut the stable door after the horse has bolted." Hence, stables have doors.
You Googled this, didn't you?
No, I just thought of it in my head.
No way.
Oh, there's
No,
a
look,
saying.
my
that-
hands are
there's
right
a saying that you just came up with in your head.
That's just saying. Everyone knows that saying.
Everyone in Gwaindire.
Yeah.
It's a classic Gwaindire turn of the phrase.
It's after the incident in the Fogden hovels.
Oh yeah. The incident. We
Mhm.
don't speak of that.
Well,
They say
People
on a
would.
hot summer day you can still smell the molasses.
yeah, the Duke's youngest son was quite embarrassed by that incident.
Well, the Gwaindire. I can't wait to get back to the. We're gonna have an adventure in the Gwaindire after this whole thing.
Just the Gwaindire.
Just the Gwaindire. All right, so yeah, you close the doors, and Michelle, you plop down on her with the acrobatics check of.
Oh, yes. Acrobatics check of 18.
I mean, you've pinned her. Your boulder-like
Oh,
shape has
yes.
pinned her,
That's right.
and she's dead. No, just kidding.
Well,
But she'll wake
And
up.
she was Strahd all along.
Can you believe
Campaign
it?
over.
the
She
end.
will. She'll wake up and all the wind knocked out of her immediately. She's completely gassed. She can't say anything. She can barely speak. She's trying to cough and catch her breath, but like that's even hard. She's awake though, and she's trying to struggle and get up, but your weight, your bulk, is holding her down. She's not a very big individual. She's kind of tiny.
Not so fast, tiny lady. We have some questions. We have some questions for you. Sorry.
Not so fast.
I said that in a very with a grim demeanor, I
I
swear.
am sure
Dione
you
did.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you guys do the talking, please.
What are you doing with this backpack? This belongs to us.
That's not what I wanted. That. Okay. What do we got here? She screams, tries to at least. Help! Help!
I want to know what you were doing with our stuff. And I point to the backpack.
I can't speak.
Well,
I lift myself half a centimeter.
Help!
Just the tiniest bit.
Get me out!
Okay, you can praise now. Go on. We are listening.
You lift your body up.
But just like half a centimeter, like very, very little. So like I'm still keeping her contained within this space, but just enough so her ribs can move and she can
She's-
breathe.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal it. Take it. Take it.
I actually want to check it and see if the map's still in there.
Yeah, everything's in there. The contents are
Okay.
still there.
You have very lovely hair. We noticed.
I think she's probably very frightened now.
In fact, we have a strand of it.
We go
I
full Lenny in
slowly
the
pull it
stable.
out of my pack. Is this
Really?
yours? I think so.
Science.
Science.
She goes, I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why did you steal the pack in the first place?
Jesus, I couldn't help myself. I saw it. It looked so pretty.
Do you steal other things?
No.
Is there a network of thieves that you work with?
No.
Listen, let's calm down here. What is your name?
She says, what does it matter? Do whatever you're gonna do and get out of here. Get on
We're
with
not
it.
going to do anything. We just want information.
I know nothing. I'm sorry. Take it back.
You know, this is very, very comfortable. I can stay here all day. All day. Wow, I love this table. Lovely seat.
Have you been to St. Andrews recently?
St. Andrews? No,
Yes.
why?
St. Andrews, the church.
So at this point, obviously we're in like a conversation here. She is looking up to you all. You can see she, like I said, I guess read before when you first saw her, a young girl, probably around the age of like 16, 17, 18 or so. And she has this curly blonde hair. It obviously though is hard for her to like, really get a real good look at her right now because she's like pinned down. But you can see that she looks very scared. She says no. She hasn't been to the chapel here. And she says, "Can you get off me, please?"
Do you promise not to scream?
I won't say a word. We can talk. Civilized.
Okay, fine. And I slowly, reluctantly, like shift my weight. But as I'm shifting my weight, I'm doing it slowly and deliberately so that like if she looks like she's gonna bolt at any moment, I will just and like throw myself back on her. But I do kind of back off.
You are sleeping in this stable. This is a. Why do you choose to sleep here?
It was a place to stay.
Do you have nowhere to stay?
Not really.
How long
Yeah.
have you been in Vallaki?
In Vallaki. I've never left it.
And you have nowhere to live.
You have no family.
It's my home, she says.
This stable.
No, Vallaki is my home. Now, please, take whatever you're going to take and then leave. Don't kill me.
Do you
I
have
just
no
wanna-
family?
I didn't hear you.
Oh, do you have no family?
No, I'm on my own.
Well, how can that be if you've lived here your whole life? You appear from the ground?
No, I was orphaned.
Did you go to the orphanage?
Oh, she shudders. Yeah, I've been there before.
So, where did you start? How did you survive all these years on your own?
I manage, I get by. What is this, an interrogation?
Yes.
Take what you want
Kind
and
of.
leave.
I want information about what you were doing in the Church of St. Angles.
The Church of St. Andrews.
We can pay, Andros, we can pay I'll pick up one of the gold pieces the guy gave me, Nicholas.
Where did you get that?
Wait, pay for what?
Information.
All right, now I'm really confused. All right, look, I didn't want to get in all this trouble. What information do you need? Tell me.
What you were doing in the Church of St. Andrews, you stole from there.
I didn't steal anything from St. Andrews.
Can we do like a perception check to see if she's lying or not?
Yeah.
You could do an insight check to see if there's any tells or something that you feel like is off about her statements. Just call out what you got.
19.
A 19. She seems really terrified. She seems like she's got an elevated heart rate. She's like really scared. And so it's hard to read whether or not she's telling the truth per se, but she seems, like I said, to be honest about what she's saying, earnest about the way she's delivering it, but it could be masked by the scaredness. I haven't stolen anything from the church. Anything I've ever taken has been something I've seen has been shiny or pretty or something that I've maybe wanted for myself. I would never steal something from the church.
Or perhaps we should take it to Isaac then, the guard. Report
No.
the crime.
No, please, no.
Seemed to be the natural course of action.
Her eyes widen when you say Isaac's name, and she's like, no, please, anything but that. Kill me now. Do it right
Perhaps
here.
We should take you back to Madame Fremere.
What? Madame Vermeer? How do you know her?
We don't, actually, but from what I gather, she's not a very good, very kind person.
She's the evil incarnate. Don't take me there. And don't take me to Isaac. Anywhere but those two places.
Are you sure that you
Yeah.
haven't been to the church?
I haven't been to the church.
When was it that the bones were taken?
So I
like-
think it was a week
like
ago.
a week ago?
And you've been in Vlaki for 2 days? So something around like 9 or 10 days ago.
I'm gonna reach out and casually just like yank one of the hairs out of her head
Yoink.
and hit boop. And then I'm just gonna like while they're talking, I'm gonna just hold up her hair that I took now and the hair I got from the church cellar and like compare them.
They are very similar.
What were you doing a week ago at night?
That's none of your business.
Unfortunately, it is.
She's honestly, I don't even know. When? What night? I can't think about it. I probably here. Come on, look.
Not
Listen.
out and about thieving? Perhaps on a mission for someone?
What? What is this? What gives?
Listen, I can't tell if this girl is just completely useless, a bad thief, or, I don't know, a good liar.
Could be any combination of the above, really.
What are you gonna do to me?
How would you like to have a place to live and a position?
Go on.
Do you think you would be able to? We have a child we rescued for some people, very bad people, in the wilderness. But we are adventurers. We cannot care for children. Perhaps we have a house we have settled in this town. Perhaps you could look after the child for a wage, at least for the time being.
Wait, hold on. You want her to look after Micah?
Babysit.
You would trust this person to look after your... Well, not your baby, but a child?
The child?
Well, I find that everyone deserves a chance.
Are you saying this to her right now?
Yeah.
She's like, I watch a child? I guess so. What are you looking for?
Well, it's
Take the
either
bag.
you. It's either you watch the child or Lady LeMaire watches the child.
I mean,
Can
go ahead.
I speak to her in like thieves' cant and see if she understands? Because like in theory, only thieves can like comprehend thieves' cant, right?
Isn't it like symbols where you like write symbols?
It
or
can be
something?
like knocks and stuff too, like sounds and such.
Okay,
Just like
yeah.
slang.
Yeah, right. It could be a variety of things, not necessarily like talking with lingo, right? Like it could be anything, but it's its own. For gameplay purposes, it's just going to consider its own language. So, but it could be like, you know, you could leave a symbol somewhere and people would know that means, you know, don't come here, or this place has been robbed already, or something like that, or, you know, whatever. All right, so you want to speak to her in Thieves' Cant?
Yeah. Maybe in thieves' cant. I will say, like, the meaning that I'm going to say is like, there is a terrible beast prowling the streets, like something that I know will evoke a reaction from her. But the words that I say are just like nonsense.
Right.
I can like actually say nonsense, or we can
Do
just
it.
kind of.
No, say it. Say the nonsense.
I want the nonsense.
Oh, okay. There is a lady. She has eaten too much goose. So the goose and the mongrel, they are frolicking merrily down the lane, past the barn house and to the love shack. And so at the love shack there, they find a kiwi, and the kiwi, it is too ripe. So they cannot have the kiwi. This is the end.
Unite. What the heck is she talking?
I have no idea.
But yeah, in Thieves' Cant, I've communicated like there is a terrible beast prowling the streets of this city, of this town.
She goes, she recognizes what you've said. You can clearly tell that she understood it. And she says something back to you that also makes sense. The equivalence of what she wants to know is like, what? A beast roaming? What's really going on here? What do you need me for? And she says, look, I'm shocked to hear about the mongrel and the goose, she says to you, but I also want to know exactly, what's your time frame here? What really is going on? What are you trying to get at? If you want something from me, you'll have to deal with me. If you want me to look after a kid, I'm happy to take the kiwi and run.
Okay, all right. So then again in Thieves' Cant, I guess I will kind of communicate that she should cooperate with these people. They're very strong and there is a plan, but we can't tell her everything yet. And so the goose and the mongrel, unfortunately, they cannot have the kiwi, so they continue on their quest for fruit. But after not finding any good fruit, they decided they will just eat some goat. If you cannot have kiwi, might as well eat some sweet rotting goat flesh. And so they devoured the goat, this poor little kid, until there was nothing left except for one small oof and the echo of a forlorn bleat.
Well, she says, if that's the case, she says, then what do you need from me? She says
Can
to
you
the
tell
group.
us? Can you tell us your name, please? Now,
Oh, good start.
I'm Canas.
She says, my name is Camila. And I'm really confused. So please, tell me, what do you need from me? Or
Listen,
can you let me go?
Something was stolen from the church a week ago. And this hair, and I assume she knows what we're talking about because Dione has already been holding it up,
Yeah.
was found at the scene of the theft. And you stole our bag a few days ago. So, just putting 2 and 2 together here. What do you know about this theft at St. Andrew's Church?
Listen, I don't know what happened at St. Andrew's Church. I really don't. I mean, I'm not really a churchgoer. She says, but I think I might be able to find out. I know some people who also on the streets. I could put the word out there for you. Just tell me what you lost, and I'll see if they can find it. But I don't want to go back to the. Well, first off, she goes, I don't know if I can really even go back to the orphanage. I'm a little older for that. She says, but Ezek, please, Ezek, I don't want to go into the stocks.
Well, listen, this might sound silly, but it's very important to me. My grandmother died recently, and she was just buried by the church. And, seems that her bones were taken. So, if you could find anything about bones that were stolen, I'd just really like to have my grandmother's bones back. My poor grandmother. I just don't know why anyone would
Give me a deception check.
Steal people's bones.
I need a deception check here.
17.
17. Okay.
Maybe somebody's just ransacking dead people's bones, and it just seems so strange.
She says, okay, well, if you're missing your grandmother's remains, and she says it in like a weird way, like she may have a hard time believing you. Whatever that means, she says, I'll see if I can find anybody who knows what's going on.
Maybe you can see if anyone's been going underneath the church and taking the remains of people, perhaps.
Under the church, she says? She looks very confused. Under the church?
Where else would you keep bones?
I mean, isn't there a graveyard right next to the church?
Yeah, there's a graveyard, yeah.
Yeah, so that's underneath the church, beside.
Out back, yeah.
Uh-huh.
She says, right. Listen, is that code for drugs?
Hey, you were talking about a kiwi before.
All right. She says, look, I can do whatever I can to find your grandmother's remains, but I don't know if I'm gonna
talk to your network of people. See if they know anything about stolen bones.
I will. I promise I will. First thing in the morning.
How can we find you? If we want to get in touch.
Well, I do sleep here a lot. It's usually empty, and I find myself here more nights than not. But I'll find you. I promise. You're new to town, right? I saw you come in the other day.
You sure did. You
Well, we
lifted
know.
something off of us.
So I'll figure it out. I'll find out, and then I'll come find you. Look, I can be of service here. Really, I can. Do you think you could do me a favor too?
What?
Perhaps.
Well, you see, I might have lied before.
About what?
Yes.
I do have family. I have a sister. She says, and she's younger than me. She says, just like me, and we were in the orphanage together. Maybe perhaps you could get my sister out of the orphanage? Adopt her? You don't need to actually adopt her or anything. I'll take care of her.
What's her name?
She says her name is Anna.
But surely the orphanage is a good place for her. Being an
Oh, no.
orphan.
You don't know this place like I do. That woman, Madame from Mayor, she's a horrible person. Horrible.
What sort of horrible things does she do?
Well, other than just being a real mean and nasty person, she abuses the kids in there. Physically, emotionally. And I know a couple of kids that they disappeared, and I never saw them again. And I know they didn't get adopted. Nobody gets adopted here.
How old is your sister?
She's 10.
And how do you know she's still in the orphanage? Why didn't you go get her yourself?
I try to keep tabs, but a long time ago I ran away. I got out. Look, you all seem like real nice people, and I didn't mean nothing by taking your bag. Please take it. And here, if you will let her, she'll reach into her pocket. She has a coin purse on her.
Go on.
What's she trying to give us?
Here, take whatever you need. She gives you some money for the inconvenience. She throws us a bag filled with mostly copper coins, and a couple of silver, and it ends up being a total of
Keep your
5
money.
silver. Keep it?
Yes.
No, but look, I'd be willing to pay you to get her out. I just don't have a lot of money yet. Give me a little bit of time. I'm gonna get some money soon.
All right. Well, how about you take up my friend here, his offer in the meantime? Because if you could watch over our child, perhaps we can help your sister.
You want me to really watch that kid of yours?
You think you can do it?
Well, I know I could do it. I took care of my sister when we were little.
It might be a lucrative business for you in the future.
You can
All
right,
make an
so-
honest living.
Perhaps
All
you
right,
can
so-
run your own orphanage
So,
the right way.
just to be sure, I understand what's going on here. You want me to see if anybody's found your grandmother's remains? They were buried out in the graveyard at the church, and now they're gone.
I'm looking for information on bones in general, and if any of them have been stolen in the recent future.
Recent future? I'm confused.
Recent past.
Oh. All right. What time frame would that be then? Like a month?
A week.
A week?
A week ago.
All right, so
I've said this before. Please try to remember.
I'll try. Sometimes I get flustered.
You don't know anyone else that has discerning blonde hair like you do.
Just my sister.
I was afraid of that.
Are
Just your
they-
sister.
Yeah, we have blonde hair.
No one else has blonde hair in the town you've seen.
I mean, some people maybe, but most people, if you notice, got dark hair around here.
I have observed that.
Are
Maybe
the
we should-
kids...
Pay a trip to the orphanage.
Yes, are the kids allowed out of the orphanage? At least sometimes, just to walk around town?
I mean, the orphanage has its play area. I say play area with a little bit of sarcasm because nobody really ever plays. But there's an outdoor space behind the
Where
the
do
orphanage.
we know? Where is this orphanage?
So if you look on the map, and I'll bring up the map for Roll20 in a second here. You'll notice that there's this big gated back here. That's the orphanage. This building right here.
No, it's
Oh,
close.
we're like right there.
You are close to it.
Nice.
You've passed it before. You didn't notice it.
And you, Camila, how did you escape from the orphanage? Was there any opening in the gate, or how did you leave?
She says, "Yeah, I had to time it just right. I was gonna do it with my sister, but she chickened out, and before we could both get out, the old groundskeeper, he caught her.
He got her where?
right
Climbing over
at
the fence?
No, not the fence. We were gonna try to get out the front door. Sometimes people come on tours around the place, and Madame Vermeer's busy giving a tour, and we made a run for it. We almost made it out the door, but she chickened out, and then that old groundskeeper got her.
What is the groundskeeper's name?
His name is Brodimir.
Is he a brat?
I mean, he doesn't really speak much. He's kind of scary. I mean, he's an old man. He's like in his 30s or 40s.
When do the kids go out back to play?
They go out at least once a day, but it's heavily monitored by Vermeer or the staff. Sometime in the middle of the day. Maybe like the afternoon. After lunch.
I think I have a friend that could probably cause a distraction.
Oh yeah? Who's that?
I kind of like tilt my head up over to the raven that's probably perching on the stable.
She's like, wait. That's your friend?
Mm-hmm.
She's like,
And
I'm confused.
I tell Yune telepathically to fly around Camila's head and then perch
Got
back
it.
up on the stable.
You got it.
And Yune will fly around and caw and eventually land right near her head. She's like, you could control that thing?
You betcha.
Wow. You guys are pretty powerful, she says.
So, if this little guy can cause a ruckus back there, perhaps we can get your sister out.
I would love that. And I'll pay you for it, I promise. I'm gonna get some money real soon.
You have a job coming up?
I mean, not quite, but I'll get it to you, I promise. You're gonna have to front the money to get her out of there.
All right, talk to your people. See what you can find out.
Will do. Will do. And, thank you for not murdering me.
Oh, it was so tempting. But you're welcome.
So you get off of her now?
Oh, yes,
We've
yes.
kind of been off of her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was to the side, just like playing with her hair. Yes. And then I guess like one last thing I will say to Camilla. By the way, again, if you can find us some bones, some remains, then perhaps you can keep your money.
Okay. Deal. Certainly. A deal.
And then 4 men, a raven, and a teenage girl walk out of a stable door.
And a dwarf. Don't forget Dione. A boulder-shaped dwarf.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right, so you exit the stall. She'll take her things and scurry off into the night as well.
Scurry out into the morning? Isn't it the
Well,
morning?
it's still
The morning.
before light. It's before dawn would have happened. But yeah, she'll scurry off into the darkness, and very soon after that, there will be some light from the overcast skies. It's about dawn. The Blue Water Inn, you hear the noises from inside. They're ready to open up, so they're opening up for their breakfast rush, which is like 2 people. But yeah, it's the hunters. They're back. You exit out the front of the side. You go to the front of the store, and you can see Evgeny and Zoldar. Yeah, you see them walking in.
They're walking in.
Yeah.
This is just their local haunt.
This is everybody's local haunt.
I'm gonna wave to them. Hello.
Oh, look who we've got here.
Good to see you two again.
You weren't scared away by Danica, were you?
Well, I'm just curious as to why she was so rude.
You know, they can be sweet, they can be sour.
Has that ever happened to anyone else that they had met for the first time?
Occasionally. And Zoldar is like, she has definitely been angry towards us a few times. And the Vakta brothers, definitely a few more times.
Ah, I heard the Vakta brothers paid a visit recently to the Blue Water Inn. In the recent future, perhaps.
We left early last night, but yes, they were there. They seem to be having the time of their life.
Could you tell us anything about the Vakta brothers, besides the fact that they're normally there getting tuned up?
Brothers of noble birth. They're brash drunkards. They know not to pick a fight with us, though. And Yevgeny looks over to Zoldar, and they high-five each other.
Hey, did you hear any ruckus last night?
Did you hear
By the
ruckus?
stockyard,
Did you hear
perhaps?
ruckus, Zoldar? I did not hear the ruckus.
Hey, I got one last question for you guys. You're pretty good hunters, right?
They sure are.
The best.
What do you know about were-tigers?
Were-tigers?
Yeah, like werewolves, but they turn into tigers.
Zoldar says, we are well aware of what they are, but here, in this place, no. Werewolves, yes. Many around the area.
What of a traveler from far away who could be a were-tiger?
I guess anything's possible.
Okay. Noted.
Do you know anyone? Do you want us to kill them?
Not yet,
We
but
would
I have my suspicions.
we would certainly like you to be on the lookout for, I don't know, some sort of large tiger, perhaps a were-tiger.
Tiger.
Most
Certainly.
likely a were-tiger.
Yeah, I guess we could. We could look out for that. Is that right, Zoldar? It is possible we can look out for this tiger, but I might need some more information. Have you seen a tiger around here?
I look at the party and I'm just like,
He
I
says,
look inscrutable.
he says,
I'm gonna talk to these guys. I like these guys. We saw a beast. Just caught a glimpse of it. Burst out of the stockyard. Last night.
your
it
eyes
appeared
play
to be-
tricks on you. Your eyes play tricks on you.
I don't think so. If you investigate the stockyard yourselves, you might even still be able to see some of the bloodstains on the floor left in its wake.
I don't know. I don't doubt you, but I would have to see it with my own eyes. He says, maybe we go check out after breakfast.
Sounds good.
Will you join us?
I'd
We
love
could talk
to.
more about this tiger.
Yes, that would be great.
Good. And, you know, I was thinking, perhaps you can do something to get Danica on your good side.
Yes, what's that?
I've been trying to tell them for a long time now that they are running out of wine. You know this, right? Most people in the town know the wine supply is running low.
Yes, a lot of people are very, very concerned about the wine.
Yes, of course, the wine. So he says, you see, there's a place they get their wine from. Zoldar says, "It is from the Wizard of the Wines, the vineyard." We have run out of shipment. They haven't gotten shipment in some time. They're limiting how much wine we can get.
And where is the Wizard of the Wines vineyard?
To the west of here. With us leading, maybe a day's travel. Without 2 days minimum. They've told us not to go. But perhaps you go, you hire us. We all make money, we all get wine back, everyone's happy.
And
I'm
all
just
will
saying.
be well.
I'm just saying you he
will
laughs.
be
Oh, he says, I'm just saying you propose it to her. See how she takes it.
I don't mind that idea at all. Let's have some breakfast.
Excellent. You go in. You enter into the same, I'm not going to bring up the map right now, but you go into the tavern area. It smells great. There are a few patrons in here now. They're the early morning people getting their porridge and stuff like that. You see Erwin, the proprietor, and he greets you all as you come in. And he looks at the group and he's like, "I believe my wife told you you're not welcome here."
Ah, Erwin, old friend. It's good to see you again. I pull out the note from Lady... What's her name?
Oh,
Lady
yeah.
Petronova. Lydia.
Lydia
Petronova.
Yeah, the Baroness.
And I slap it down on the counter.
He'll look at it and read it. He squints his eyes down it. The Baroness is telling you to stay here?
Well, we have accommodations now, but we would like to eat here.
Did you see? She called us exquisite. Did you notice?
He's like, you're really tying my hands here. And he looks over to the, kitchen door area. And he says, "All right, quickly. You can eat. But then as soon as you're done, no lingering, you leave. If you need a room, perhaps I could rent a stable to you."
Ah. Lovely, those stables. Hey, listen. How's the wine supply going?
We're managing. Why?
Well, I heard there's been a problem with shipments.
True. It's been quite some time since we've gotten a new shipment. Everyone knows that.
Well, why don't you tell your wife that if there's anyone who could go check up on those shipments, it's us.
He says, "That's so. Why do you want to help me so badly?"
Listen, we wouldn't just be helping you. I think we'd be helping the entire village of Vallaki.
He says, "If that's the case, perhaps we could be of assistance. Though Zoldar and Evgeny, you'll be taking them?" And they look very happy. They're like, "We've already discussed a deal. We will get them there in 1 day. And then back 1 day. We will make sure no harm comes to them. Isn't that right, Zoldar?" "Yes, that is correct." And he seems to be kind of satisfied with that answer. And he goes, "All right, look. It's true. We haven't gotten a shipment of wine in quite some time. The people that run the Wizard of the Wines, their family. if you can go there and see what the trouble is, make sure everyone is safe and sound, then perhaps we can provide lodging for you. But until then, you'll eat in the stables. And he slops down some porridge on the counter. And he says, see me when you get back. And Evgeny, Zoldar, may I speak with you before you embark on this journey? He's like, can't we eat first? Yes, fine. Eat first, and then we talk. And he looks to the rest of the group. And he says, if you'll excuse us, we need to discuss.
Just what is it about us that you have a problem with?
He says, sometimes it's hard to trust outsiders. They don't understand what life here in Vallaki or Barovia is like.
Well, we are planning to be here in Vallaki for a very long time.
Good, this will go a long way in gaining trust.
Understood.
Let me talk with your guides. You're not leaving right now, are you?
Not yet, no.
Take the porridge outside to the stable. Come back in a half an hour. Get your things.
All right. I guess I walk out.
Okay, so you take the porridge bowls and you leave. And now you can discuss freely. There's quite a few things up in the air right now. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, you didn't even necessarily agree to all of what he just said. So discuss as a group, decide what you want to do. But go ahead.
Well, it seems we have a whole bunch of side quests happening right now.
We have to prioritize then what we're going to do first, because we have kind of, some of them are on like a pretty specific time frame, like the Bones of St. Angelo. We know the festival's coming up.
Well, the Bones of St. Andrew seem to be the top priority, but we just don't have any information about them.
And we only have the priest's word that they even matter. He could be just some crazy old man.
And we do have the new girl looking for them.
And we could
Yes.
talk to Anna at the orphanage, because like the hair from the cellar was similar to Camilla's, but not the same.
These
So
orphanage people don't sound like nice sorts of people. Maybe they could be putting up their children. It was a very small space, and maybe they needed a small child to go into.
It is possible that she was sent by Madame Fremere or someone in the orphanage.
So we've got Bones, we've got Orphanage, we've got the wine problem now. Anything else?
our cat.
The beast, the
Missing
tiger.
Tyger. So those four things are. Anything else we're missing?
Oh, well, taking care of this Micah kid is the real problem, but
We got someone else to take care of that. Come on, we can pawn him off.
Soon he'll be old enough we can drop him with the priest.
Bones, Beast, Orphanage, Wine. Which do we want to do first? The bones were kind of like backburnering, so we can't have anything to do with it. So it seems like the Orphanage is kind of like the next like logical step, because I can
would
potentially
say-
like wrap a couple ideas together.
I could
I'd say
do
that the only two that would seem to be issues that we can solve are getting Anna out of the orphanage, which could potentially be quick, and taking this trip to try to figure out the wine supply. The tiger, we've seen no hide nor hair of this thing.
It doesn't
But,
seem to be causing any disruption either.
It's because it's a
Not
were-tiger.
anymore.
Yeah. I'm
And
not.
We need to let Camila do her thing with her network of potential thieves to perhaps give us more information about Bones.
Maybe then the priority is to go to the orphanage and get her sister free, and that way she is ingratiated or indebted to us, and that way, if she does have information, we have a little bit of leverage.
I agree.
I'm not particularly enthused by being some kind of wine merchant for these uncouth people.
My interest is piqued, I'm not going to lie, but it's not a
Well,
priority.
I have to admit, I'm rather excited to be on the road again. This place, it's not my favorite.
I need to get out of here for a bit, and I think that, as Erwin mentioned, if we bring wine back to Vallaki, perhaps things will be better while we are staying in Vallaki.
Well, how long do we think that was going to take? So we had like a week to do before the festival of. It was the festival of St. Andrew, but now it's the festival of something else.
The Festival of the Blazing Sun, which is on the same day of the Feast of St. Andrew's,
That's it.
is in 4 days from now.
Does anyone else feel that the bones need to be found by the Feast of St. Andrews? It seems that's a strange coincidence. I feel a sense of... I don't even know if I trust the old man. He seems a little crazy, but he wasn't that old. But anyway, I'm torn, and sometimes I think that the bones are critical and we need to get them in time for the Feast of St. Andrews, but sometimes I think then that there's nothing to it. I don't know what to think.
Didn't they say the bones are what keeps Strahd out of Vallaki, and like the bones are why Vallaki is safe from Strahd?
That's what the priest seems to believe, at the very least.
Don't
I
forget
understand, but what are we supposed to do? Just start walking around town and looking under rocks for the bones?
Bones.
The orphanage is the only lead we have, the hair.
Yeah, the orphanage is the
Yeah.
best lead we have so far, and that allows us to kind of, again, tie together like multiple disparate threads.
Mm.
We could
Okay.
probably do that quickly. I mean, we just need to go in, pretend we want to adopt the girl, and then talk to girl. Anna.
Actually,
Or-
More children.
Or we could just camp outside of the fence creepily until all the children come out of the building, and then we could snatch the blonde-haired one from the crowd and run away quickly.
Hey, you want to get some candy?
I got 50 silver pieces of Strahd coin. You
I have
want
a
it?
new bike in my cellar.
I could have Yune fly in, maybe drop a note for her
Mm.
Mm.
saying that Camila wants to set her free. This way she is aware that a breakout might be happening. Or, as you mentioned, we could just walk right in there and say we want to adopt her.
Oh, I can't wait to see how this plays out. So everybody, you're discussing this in the outside of the Blue Water Inn, and you've got, just to summarize the conversation a bit, the bones of St. Angelo are missing. You've been tasked to find them. There's a tiger on the loose somewhere in this village that you don't know where it is. The Wachter brothers have gone back home, and they don't want anybody to know about their instance going there. Rick Tavio, where's that guy? What's he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
where
also
is that
have
guy?
yeah, where is that guy? We also have the Wizards of the Wine. That's the winery, the vineyard that is, days travel away with the guides you might be hiring. If you take that on, you'll be leaving Vallaki for at least 2 days. And then you've got the girl, Camila, in the orphanage, her sister Anna, who's quote-unquote trapped there, basically. And then to add just one more thing. Oh, of course, the Festival of Blazing Sun with the Feast of St. Andrews all 4 days away. To add to this now, running from the northern road as she flags you down is Angelica, the NPC that you met on your first night here.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
She's out of breath. Yeah, Laurent, Dione, Rufus, Canas, I'm so glad I found you. Laurent, may I speak with you for a moment?
Yes, of course.
Not that I want to steal you away, but I just think it might be best if I talk to Laurent on the side over here, and she pulls you, maybe like 10 feet away.
Flattered as always.
Another woman for Laurent.
They are also thirsty, these women.
It's me.
She goes, no, it's nothing like that. And then she kind of whispers to you, though. She goes, I just saw the strangest thing. And normally, lots of things give me reason for pause and concern, but this seemed particularly strange to me. She says, you are, and you're Vistani. I think this might be of note to you. I believe I saw a Vistana just outside, just leaving the gate here, the Zarevich gate. I was waking up and getting ready to go to church, and he was dragging a girl with him. It seemed like she was resisting a bit. The guards opened the gate, and he left. It seemed like something was wrong.
And the guards didn't stop him abducting this girl?
I don't know what the interaction was at the gate. I only saw him passing my house. And I got a strange feeling about the entire thing. It was a big man, a large man. Do you know him? I think I've seen him before in the Vistani encampment.
Doesn't ring any bells, but I'm happy to look into this further.
Well, I just thought maybe if you knew him, you could tell me, oh, it's just him and his daughter and all's okay, but I'm concerned. They were headed towards the lake.
I will look into it and let you know. This
Thank
definitely
you.
Raises some concern.
This was only just 10 minutes ago or so. I'm so glad I bumped into you right away. Perhaps you should go now.
I will turn and look back at the group and say, can you all handle the orphanage? It seems I have some pressing Vistani business to take care of.
You need
Only
help?
you? Alone?
I will come with you.
I'm happy to have company as long as we have the orphanage thing taken care of.
Oh, all right. Well, as long as we have Yune, I think the orphanage will be a cinch.
Okay, so we're gonna split the party here?
I guess so.
Nice.
Oh, let's go!
And
All right.
This can't possibly go wrong.
It's
Could you
gonna be
tell us
great.
why we need to go quickly? Will you relay the information?
Yeah, apparently, another Vistani was abducting, borrowing, stealing a young girl and is taking her out towards the lake.
What color hair did the girl have?
Was it Camila?
Oh my
Dark-
god.
Dark hair.
Angelica, what color was the girl's hair? That's a phenomenal question.
Curly blonde. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be too funny. No, dark hair. I believe she also looked Vistana in appearance, but I don't know. Your people as well as you do. I mean, I don't mean to say you people.
What do you mean, you people?
I just mean this might be a matter that you need to handle.
I will look into it right now. This exact second, I will leave to look into it.
I'm going to church to pray.
Well, throw in an extra prayer for me to the Morning Lord.
I'll say a little prayer for you.
Thank you.
Let us go. I'm not letting any more children get into danger after the incident at the Barovia village.
All right, so at this point, Rufus and Laurent are going to go towards the lake, and then that means Dione and Canas, are you going to head towards the orphanage?
Yeah.
So
Okay. The two of you, the four of you, the two groups, figure out this system. You look to each other, nod your heads, and go off in your ways. And I imagine this session will end as we look to the roof of the Blue Water, and you can see a little crow or raven atop the roof, the lofty roof, and looking down at you all, and watching as the two groups split. Laurent and Rufus heading north, and then Dione and Canas heading east towards the orphanage. And we will see you all next week for sure. We're going to be back to our normal schedule hopefully no more interruptions. But like I said, the best way to keep up with the the scheduling, and if we have to reschedule for something, I usually post on Discord right away. So I would definitely go into there, and the Discord links are down below in the description. I also try to post on Facebook, like when we're going live and stuff like that. So if you don't always feel like you get YouTube updates, go to the Facebook and check that out too. All the links down below, check them out. And then also another way is to hit the bell icon so you don't miss a new upload. But ultimately, like this video and share it around. Hopefully, this Strahd campaign has been a lot of fun, and it's really starting to ramp up. I don't know if you can all feel it, but like, do you feel like that there's like this like boiling point that we're reaching, right? Like there's lots of stuff happening all at the same time, and I'm just so ready for it.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Everything.
It's freaking me out though, because I know that like if we focus on one of these things, other stuff is still going on in the background. It's not like the world pauses. So like we have to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
That's what I love about this game. So we'll be back with this crew next week and see what happens. But who knows? Maybe we'll find a tiger. Maybe we'll find a were-tiger. I don't know. We'll see exactly what's going on at the lake next time. All right. We will see you all on the tabletop. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.